Latrell Mitchell front and centre. A bit of talk via you that he might be ruling himself out of Origin selection. And on top of that, things could now get quite complicated.
Yeah, I reported yesterday that Latrell was given consideration to making himself ineligible for the start of the State of Origin series to focus on South Sydney, which he did promise the club that his full focus would be on South Sydney. Now, I know what everyone is thinking straight away, would he have even been picked? Regardless of whether he was going to be picked or not, there would have been a conversation of whether we pick Latrell, do we not go with him, do we play him at centre, where do we pick him? That is something that the reason he's considering this is because the noise then becomes a problem for South Sydney, it becomes a problem for him, and he's got to deal with it, and there's ramifications to that. Now, tonight I can tell you the NRL are looking into a clause in player contracts that actually stipulates that if he pulls out or makes himself unavailable for State of Origin, here it is here, if a player is selected but withdraws or makes himself unavailable for selection, the player agrees that he will not be available to play for the club in any game in which he would have played for that representative team. Now, I don't remember this ever being enforced. The NRL's argument will be that this is the reason they are paid so well, as part of that is because of the money that Origin generates for the game, and they need their best players available, so they want all their players available. Now,
when did that clause even come in?
That's been there for years.
Well, Callum Ponga pulled out last year. No one said a word. We didn't hear this.
I know.
Latrell gets involved in it.
Well, I think Madge would like Latrell to be available. Now, that doesn't mean he'll pick him, but I think he wants the best players available. So when he does sit down on that Monday before or the Sunday when he's picking his team, he's got Latrell Mitchell on a whiteboard and thinking, OK, is he in the right frame of mind? Has he played well in those last 3 games coming back from suspension to warrant selection? And at least afford him the ability to have a chat with him about where his headspace is. I don't know, you were an Origin coach, Gus. Has this ever been an issue before?
It has raised its head a few times. Normally it's senior players, you know, that are changing clubs or getting on their last final big deal and the club is sort of saying, well, you know, if you're going to get this sort of money and finish off your career, we need you every week. You know, so some players after good service or long-term service for representative football have been given consideration to pull out. There have been a few over the years that have tried to pull out, or clubs have pulled them out for various reasons. With the Callum Ponga one, I think everyone understood that because if you remember at the start of last year, there were severe concussion issues. He was playing 5'8", he'd been injured, he'd spent no time on the field. So everyone understood that he was saying, well, I really haven't done any reps at fullback. I'm not playing with any confidence. I've had these concussion issues and stood him down. And whether or not he was going to be picked is another thing as well. The Latrell situation, well, he was playing earlier in the year, playing well. He's just had an injury. I can't understand why he suddenly makes himself unavailable, other than the fact that pretty much everyone else in the game knows he doesn't really want to play Origin. And he just doesn't
You believe that, Gus?
I just don't believe. I believe he doesn't want to play Origin.
Why?
I don't know. That's up to Latrell. But from the outside looking in, I've always had the impression he doesn't want to play Origin. Well,
if he doesn't want to play and he makes himself unavailable, I don't see why he should miss game for South Sydney. We've had Jamie Lyon in the past.
That's a dangerous precedent.
Well, but Jamie Lyon never played for a long time. I've never heard this. I've never heard this ever raised.
But can't you just call Badge in this case and go, hey mate, don't pick me, thanks, and no one else knows about it.
I don't think he's going to be picked.
Yep.
I don't think he was going to be picked. But what I'm saying is, I don't think he wants to play Origin. It seems like a strange announcement at this time.
Well, he hasn't made the announcement. I wrote the story yesterday that he was considering, and there was confided in people.
Oh, he hasn't made the announcement?
He hasn't made it. He's considering the
So this is scuttlebutt?
This is what the segment is called.
Genuine scuttlebutt.
Absolute
So you started this in the media?
Yes.
He has told.
Well, I apologise, Latrell. You haven't said it yet. I need to hear it come out of your mouth.
Has Latrell said anything?
I'm just trusting the media that you've actually said this.
Has Latrell told you directly?
Latrell hasn't told me directly. He has told people.
It's the definition of scuttlebutt.
All right, OK. Can we stop the tape? Can we go back and record
we don't record the show anymore.
Oh, we're doing it live.
I'm out. You don't believe my mail.
We're doing it live.
If anyone that was here, you take it as gospel.
We can't cancel this now.
No.
So this is just media scuttlebutt.
They're going to clip up that bit about you bagging Latrell, and it's going to be all over social media.
I'm not bagging him. He said he doesn't want to play. I get the impression he doesn't want to play.
I'm going to defend Michael here, though. So he puts the scuttle out there, and then if there's not a denial from said player,
that's not what happened.
Then it confirms the story.
I don't read the scuttlebutt, so I don't know who puts it out there. I assumed that Latrell had come out and said this.
Latrell has spoken to people in South Sydney that he feels as though there's worth the consideration him not playing.
What if Latrell comes out and denies that?
Well, he might. He might. And then I'll be sitting here next week and you'll be laughing. But I'm telling you right now, Latrell has given consideration to it. He may not. But the New South Wales Rugby League and the NRL want to make sure that he's available for this series.
Latrell. I apologise, mate. I've had bad mail from the scuttlebutt king of rugby league.
And you know what? That's it for
I've been
Scuttlebutt
called
here.
worse.
100% footy. And yes, Gus, we are live. It's on 9 now, the app, the website.
Why can't we just cut that and re-record?
No, that definitely won't be happening. Stay with us.